Right, it says live. Let's try this little experiment here, calling it GPT with me. Idea being that I'm going to use ChatGPT in my day-to-day task. One of the things I'm focusing on right now is trying to, build a little bit more material in the thought leadership space around AI and all the things. So I've got a little blog I spun up called AIBuddy.software. Right here, you see a bunch of draft things. Let's go to actual blog. Nothing fancy. Just spun up Ghost, put it down, did a little template editing to kind of make it easy to read things. Put my first little blog up about how AI unlocks innovation of the value stream, and it's all AI assisted, all AI aided. So the whole goal here was to generate the image with AI, with ChatGPT in this case. Take kind of the outline, the core essence of an idea that's been rolling around my head. Really started off as a tweet, and then explore it, expand on it, put a little thinking in, see what the possibilities are, and document that. And right now I am uh, trying to document that process, just show how I use ChatGPT. I was going to write a blog about it. I was like, well, let's just try a different thing. Let's see if this experiment can spawn some other experiment, and see where it ends up. So that's what we're doing. Cool. So I got this blog post here I'm thinking about writing called the ABCs of GPT in your tool chain, kind of what we're doing here. Using it. So what I did is I started off, I got an image. The way I kind of like to work through it is I will get an image around the title. So probably start off with getting a title, plugging that into GPT. We'll kind of walk through all of these steps in a moment. And then I'm, kind of filling in the content here. So what kind of sparked this whole line of thinking for just ABCs of GPTs in your toolchain was a talk I went to at the local user group about ABCs GPTs, and it was a really great talk. Two folks presented on various angles. One more kind of a general user perspective, how do I use it to do cool things, and then a little more developer focused with the second person focusing on, how do I start hooking in actions and doing things here. And that got me thinking, how much of a tool is this in my tool chain as a developer? And, how am I not using it in production software, but I'm using it to kind of make me better, faster, stronger, improve my ability to output, to think, to really do a lot of ideation, this kind of stuff. So I've got the link here because it's cool. It's a little GPT that you could integrate into your tool chain. It helps you come up with schemas. And that got me thinking, okay, cool. So, this idea in ChatGPT is you can link different GPTs together by adding them. And, I started doing a little paragraph or two about how that aligns to kind of the early days of Unix and like piping together these small utilities and how you're able to create value with that. If you've ever spent any time doing um, shell scripting, that's the word I'm thinking of. You've piped things together. You got like a cut utility that just focuses on taking a piece of text from a certain range to another range. You got sed, grep, awk, all the good things. But then there's little purpose-built things. GPTs are kind of expressing that same thing. So, you know, um, just kind of wanted to write an article about exploring that. And so let's kind of walk through the GPT side of GPT with me. Just let me find my stuff here. Got a few different windows floating around. I need to pop up. I never used the recording software and all that, so this is all new experience for me. Okay, cool. Let me just refresh here. I got a few things. Gotta try and follow the train of thought that I had. So let's see here. Where's that one? Okay, so you know how I said I will start by just kind of plunking in the title. AI is part of your tool chain. I'm not sure if it's still that. What's this? ABCs of GPTs in your tool chain. So I, started somewhere, ended somewhere different. So it's going to give me some information here, And this may or may not be useful. It's picking up some personalized detail. I do woodworking, so it's just trying to tailor that to me. That's not really what I'm interested in right now. Um, the thing is, I got a title. Kind of next step in my creative process here is to go make an image. Just kind of, I don't know, it's fun. So that's the text I pasted here from the time I did it for what I was just showing you. I need a feature image for a blog post as part of AI, as part of your tool chain, where I look at GPT someone made that creates an API schema for you. See, I've misspelled schema. It's okay, doesn't care. I've misspelled many things. In fact, I kind of get a game out of it sometimes, like really trying to screw up the sentence to see if it can grok it and respond sensibly. And I've yet to be disappointed. I think I need to try harder. I want to examine how AI slowly augment folks as it aligns to my better, faster, stronger framework. It's kind of how I'm trying to frame my engagement with AI. It's in that blog post. If you want to go read about it, you can. AIBuddy.software. Okay, cool. So I'm going to ask it this. This is more what I'm caring about. So it's going to go off and it's going to go make the image for me. I do pay for a ChatGPT 4 subscription. If you can afford it, it's a really super um, tool in my toolbox at the end of the day. Now that everything's integrated, it makes this type of creative process pretty streamlined. So you can see I didn't craft any magic prompt. I didn't make it do awesome things. I just was like, hey, here's literally the title of my blog post. Maybe I could have been a little more descriptive, say here's a blog post, I need a feature image, but I'm trying to replicate the creative process that led me there as much as I can. I think next session when I'm not doing learning a whole bunch of new things, I'll be a little more open to trying things on the fly here. But anyway, let's talk through things. I made a really interesting picture here, and I quite like that. So I'm going to download that. Maybe we may use that in our our blog post. I think last time it gave me something with a bunch of robots. So it said, "Hey, something without robots and simple, super complicated." And then it gave me a nice little picture that I like. Maybe I won't change it out. No, I won't. Okay, so let's say maybe we don't like this one so much. Uh, uh, Less monitors. Just too many monitors for me in this one. So here we're going to do. It's going to do its A/B testing. It's interesting is this used to be a lot less frequent in the earlier days. In fact, I'm sure when I first started using it, they would just conduct experiments without telling me. It's a really interesting, insightful experiences where, like, I would repetitively ask for something and it would suddenly start figuring it out without prompting. And, then the next session it kept prompting. It felt like an A/B experiment. So, got the A/B experiment here. Which one do I like? I don't know. We'll go with this one. The other one's still in the background. If you click the little button here, it's still there. Um, Okay, so it took my feedback. It knew that image was kind of the right direction. It made something different based on what I was telling it. What's it tell me here? A newly generated image presents a minimalistic yet futuristic workspace, focusing on simplicity and efficiency with a single, sleek display and subtle indications of AI assistance. Feels pretty clever to me, right? Like, it knows based on a bit of interaction that what I'm driving for. And I think, I don't know. There's something there. There's something in the way at the very least, the way the tools learned or is engaging with me. And I say learned. I mean, it's neural networks, so yes, it's learning. Whether it's adapting to me and figuring out my style or human engagement in general, or if it's able to grok and build. And there's probably an interesting tangent there to explore based on some of the YouTubers I like to watch. Uh, Serve as a compelling feature in your blog post. AI's role in technology and development in your SBF framework, SPF FBS framework. Better, faster, stronger. So yeah, it remembers the conversation. No surprises there. Uh, and then I was like, okay, cool. We've gone through. We've got the image here, so I can kind of see this. I think that's where I was playing around with the title when I landed something more of the ABC of GPTs in your tool chain. Um, Still probably going to play with it a little bit. And then it gets to the body section. So there's really three fields you're filling in here. You're trying to come up with a title, you're trying to figure out what an image should look like, and what you want to write about. And, after that, That's it. What did I do? So I came over here and I plugged some stuff in. So I was like, so how can I write about a GPT that makes schema generation easier? I've renamed the blog ABC's a new tool chain, and I want to explore how an engineer trying to tinker with GPTs and actions to build some simple looking like Unix did back in the day. Not a full train of thought, but GPT understood. That's what I love. I mean, you're going to see me do a lot of weird things like that if I continue this experiment. That's okay. It figures it out. Like grep, said, awk, and common are commonplace in scripts. The reference. Wow, I really did a horrible job at this. The ability to link other GPTs like the pipe did to Unix commands. Good idea or bad? So just kind of, here's something I typed out horribly, looking for some feedback. What do you think? It's like your concept of ABCs of AI in your tool chain focusing on GPTs can simplify schema generation is both innovative and timely. The idea of drawing parallels between the simplicity and utility of Unix commands like grep, said, and awk and modern AI tools is compelling. Not only pays homage to the elegance of the Unix philosophy, but also illustrates, oh, it's going on the screen, the potential of AI to become just as integral to contemporary computing workflows. This is really what I believe. It should be simple and it should be provide an immense amount of utility if we're going to explore it. So here's how you can approach writing a topic about it. So they give me a new title. Doesn't seem to quite remember. ABC, the revolutionary schema generation with ChatGPTs. Okay, that was one take. Um, Start with introducing the concept, define and mention the objective, exploring the simplicity and power of GPTs and automating tasks like schema generation. Outline the Unix philosophy briefly, engineering simplicity, the Unix of AI, link and linking GPTs to the new pipe, elaborate on the innovative concept of linking GPTs using the at function, similar to Unix piping. Conclusion, the future is modular, reflect on the potential of integrating GPTs into your engineering toolkit. Good ideas, bad ideas. Good. The approach is a good idea. So it did answer the question I asked it. It only educates your readers about the practical applications of AI in development workflows, but it also inspires them to think creatively about how new or old concepts can intersect to create innovative solutions. So that's exactly what I'm going for. I mean, it really understood the essence of what I was trying to get there. And remember, I typed this out horribly. It's not like I had this like beautifully poetic phrasing to feed to the machine. It took me at where I was as a human being, barely able to speak words, and pulled out the idea, gave me a really good response, and kind of managed to understand the essence, kind of the more meta of what I was going for. And I find it often does that. Maybe it's the way I'm experiencing my interaction. Maybe it's partly me, maybe it's partly the software. I don't know. Your blog can serve as a catalyst for discussion about the future of AI in development. I think that's already happening. The importance of simplicity in design. I think that's pretty hot evergreen topic in design, right? And how we can build upon the foundations laid by earlier computing paradigms to tackle modern challenges. Definitely, I really appreciate the Unix philosophy and just, the Unix Linux experience, kind of how all that came together. We're going to, of course, draw parallels from the past to make that happen. Okay, so it gave me some information, slightly different to what was happening over here. Uh, Trying to figure out how to change my content. Let's go to science and technology. There we go. Category. Um, cool. So familiar with innovation, basics, and just conscious explain, draw parallels to Phoenix philosophy. Um, could evolve. Okay, so I'm going to have probably nothing to do with this bit, and I'm going to explore this whole kind of new piece that came out, and I'm okay with that. I think that's the value I see in using a GPT to do this creatively is I'm not investing a whole lot of time to hammer out and finesse these concepts. I can kind of plug it in and, get some good starting points, some places to kind of jump off and explore. And I could probably plug it in and have it, plug in a little bit of detail for each of that. We'll probably get to that at some stage. I'm not sure if that's going to necessarily be on this stream or not. This is really just a test. Um, plug it in and expand on those concepts. And because it's probabilistic, it's not guaranteed to give me the exact same output every time. Though they do have a bit of caching in there now with the memory. So I think some of that probabilistic nature is disappearing. So it's probabilistic in the first time frame. It's probably like a time, I don't know, some number of hours before it disappears from the cache, from the memory. Because I'm looking here and I'm seeing some similarities, even though it's giving me a slightly different output, different ordering. Um, or maybe it's the same. Maybe it's just kind of me trying to read in the moment. Um, anyway, I'm probably going to take out that original link that kind of sparked this whole thought and really just jam on this. I think this is a really interesting piece of thought drawing between the route they're going of linking GPTs to kind of form a more complete uh, process automation. I guess for lack of a better term. I'm sure there's some caveats to doing it that I haven't fully digested. Maybe it's not fully automatable. I think you do have to grant permission, so there would be an issue. But the fact that you can start to string a process together and to think in this space without writing any code, without going too deep on something. Not to say that ChatGPT is the be all end all. There's definitely other types of AI out there, but this is GPT with me, and that's what we're looking at, right? Okay, so let's groove on this a little more. Actually, I'm going to end the stream, and then we'll come back and we'll jam on this a little bit. I just need to go do a few other things here.